There were only two things that could get George to take a bath: Bubbles and Sproingy, the most awe-inspiring toy frog that ever lived, and the best bubble maker George ever met. A bath just wouldn't be a bath without them.
I wonder what this belongs to. Oh, George! I found your lost boat. In the freezer. You know, George, if you were a little more careful with your toys, you wouldn't lose so many of them. You almost ready to go to the park? Hey, aren't you glad we found your boat, George? George?
Sharky wanted to play in the mud, too.
Hey, George! What do you say we go home and grab some lunch? Maybe you should try and clean up a little bit before we go. We could be here all day doing this. You can clean up at home, George. Okay, George, lunch is ready. George, you have to get cleaned up before you can eat. Just take a quick bath. I'll wait.
There were only two things that could get George to take a bath: Bubbles and Sproingy the frog. George wondered where he could be.
George? George, what is taking so long? You can clean your room later, after you clean yourself, and after we eat lunch. Hop in. Oh, I get it. You want to be launched like a new ship, huh? All right, here we go. Into the sea. You're tickling me. Look, I know you took a bath already this morning, but you're muddy, George. No. Hey, look at all the fun bubbles. See?
There was no way George could take a bath without Sproingy, who had to be around here somewhere.
George?
And there was no way George was going to admit he lost another toy, who had to be here somewhere.
George! George!
Just as the early bird catches the worm, so does the early monkey catch the, fish.
Bye-bye!
All fishermen have tales of their adventures, but George was going to take pictures.
Oh, you look like a regular first mate, George. Got your camera? Today starts my annual inventory of every living thing in Lake Quantasink Lake. And you're official photographer. I find them, you take their picture. George, a 10-inch rainbow trout. Get a picture and I'll turn her loose. We always let him go back home. Yeah, oh boy, oh, it's a big one. Get that camera ready. Oh boy. Well, this we don't throw back. But if we find the rest of the orchestra, we're gonna need a bigger boat. Well, we did a good day's work, George. You never know what'll wash down here after a big rain. Oh! Well, we'll get that tomorrow. Oh, what have you got there? An American eel. I've never seen one here before. You've got to get his picture. That is rare. He must have wandered in while heading downriver on his way to the ocean. You can get his picture tomorrow, and then we'll make sure he gets where he needs to go.
The next morning, George headed out early, determined to catch a picture of that rare eel.
Oh, sorry, George. A whale's lost her way down where the river meets the sea, and I'm going to help. Well, we'll look for that eel tomorrow.
Hey, George. Did Mr. Quinn say you guys saw an eel? In this lake? Eels never come to this lake. I'm gonna catch it and take it home. You wanted to be the one to catch it, huh? Okay, it's a contest. I'll go get my equipment.
George couldn't let Bill catch that poor lost eel and take it home. He had to catch it first. With Mr. Quint and all of his equipment gone, George had to find his own fishing pole. Fast. This fishing pole was too slippery. It was a nice summer morning, so George was walking the man with the yellow hat to the subway.
Sorry I'm walking so fast, George, but I can't be late. George?
Well, he was when they started. But George had seen something so amazing, he had to stop.
Oh, there you are. Did you see a toy you want? You already have a dinosaur just like that. You want an oven?
George never had a toy that could make cake. Sweet, delicious cake.
I'm sorry, George. That's expensive, and I just bought you an expensive toy last week. George, can we please talk about this later? I'm late for work. Sorry, George, but I can't buy every toy you see. Be a good little monkey.
If the man with the yellow hat couldn't buy it, George would have to buy it himself. All he needed was to get a job and start earning money. But Mr. Glass didn't need a window washer today. Chef Biscotti didn't need a dish dryer. It was one of those days when nobody needed a monkey's help.
The new summer display is really gonna attract customers, Dad. The palm tree goes there, beach balls on the wall, and Hawaiian lays everywhere.
I like it. Good work, son.
It'll take me a few hours to pick up everything. We'll set it up when I get back.
I could use 2 more hands while you're gone.
If you had 2 more hands, you'd be like George.
I only wish I could get an employee with 4 hands.
An employee with 4 hands? Here was someone who really needed a monkey. The grocer would be so happy with monkey help. George would probably earn that whole oven in one day.
Hey, do you work here? Perfect. I need to choose bananas. Could you help me? They need to be super sweet. I'm baking a banana cream pie for my mom.
George knew one sure way to find the sweetest tasting bananas. These bananas belonged under the counter, not on top.
How about the bunch behind you? Not the bananas in front of you, the ones behind. Try the bananas behind them. Thanks. This is the best service I've ever had in any store.
There's nothing an inquisitive monkey likes more than discovering new things. And the museum's a great place for discoveries. Like how different something can seem when you look at just a small part of it.
Hi, George. You're getting a close look at our dinosaur exhibit, I see. Then you'll be interested in this. This newly discovered Stegosaurus skeleton is our next exhibit.
Discovering dinosaur bones looked like the best job in the world. The museum always gave George lots to think about. Unlike Charky, who only ever thought about one thing. playing. He discovered a bone. That magnifying glass would have come in handy, but Charky was probably blocks away by now. George couldn't let Charky chew on it. What if some dinosaur lost this bone on its way to the museum? The Stegosaurus had all his bones. So did the Triceratops. And the Tyrannosaurus. If a dinosaur hadn't lost it, what kind of bone could it be? Luckily, there was always a box of Hundley's treats in the lobby.
Go! Oh! Good morning, George.
I'm gonna sleep 5 more minutes, okay?
No!
Yes, sorry. This here roller coaster whips and snaps you around hairpin turns at 70 miles per hour. So come on down to Zany Island and ride the Turbo Python 3000. That's Captain's orders.
Oh, well, that looks very exciting, George. Anyway, we have a lot of errands to run today. I gotta... Like I was saying, I'll get dressed so we can spend a fun day at Zany Island riding the Turbo Python 3000. Now, don't eat all that licorice at once, okay, George?
Huh?
Hi, Steve. Betsy?
Hi, George.
Hey, have you guys been on the Turbo Python 3000? We've been on 9 times already. That's the record.
Ah, is it, fun?
He screamed his head off 9 times. We're gonna ride it all day. Wanna come?
Everyone was excited about riding the Turbo Python 3000. Except the man with the yellow hat. He was afraid of roller coasters and remembered the first and last time he rode a roller coaster. It was so long ago, he was just the boy with the yellow hat.
Yeah!
since that day, roller coasters upset him.
Okay, I'm a grown man. I have no reason to fear a roller coaster. Enjoy the ride, George. Whew. I am thirsty.
Excuse me. I'm sorry, but you can't ride the Turbo Python 3000. You have to be as tall as this sign to ride. And, you're not.
Sorry, pal.
That goes for you, too, son.
Do you mind if we ride without you?
Yeah.
Sorry, I measure to the top of a head, not the top of a hat. You're gonna have to really grow before you can ride there, little fella.
George wondered exactly how much he had to grow. But when he measured with his hand, he was the same height as the sign. He must have grown already.
You're not measuring right. I wish I had a ruler or something. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, the sign is 5 licorice whips tall, and you are 1, 2, 3, 4 licorice whips tall. You can come back when you're grown one more licorice whip tall. And until then, enjoy the rest of the park.
When spring is in the air, there's nothing a monkey likes more than to spring in the air. To keep his lobby orderly, Hundley always kept a close eye on George. Come on, George.
I wish I had your energy, George.
Just watching George made Hundley tired.
Hello, Professor Wiseman.
Hi. What do you have, George? Your favorite kind of dinosaur? Oh, that's your favorite. But they're the same. Those are the bones that would be inside that. You know, same as the bones in you. Feel your arm. The hard part? That's bone. It's your skeleton.
Now that he knew he had one of those under his face, George had to see the T-Rex skull up close.
George, don't. It isn't safe. Oh. Are you okay?
George always wanted to ride in an ambulance, but he couldn't really enjoy it. At the hospital, Dr. Baker decided they needed to see George's leg bone by taking an X-ray.
Well, that's a small break. We have to put your leg in a cast. Now, this cast will keep your leg from moving while the bone heals.
Hey, that looks like George.
Hundley knew what to do when he heard that name. He got ready to defend the dignity of his lobby.
Poor little guy. Is he all right?
Oh, yeah, but he's gonna be out of action for weeks.
No jumping. No noise. Hundley wasn't so sure this was George.
Well, hello. You have a visitor, George.
It was George, all right. No one else in the building smelled like that.
Hello? Hundley come up here?
Yeah, we're in George's room.
You know, in the lobby, Hundley pays more attention to George than anyone. That's friendship. Hundley could keep George company when you go to work. I'd excuse him from his lobby duties.
George, would you like Hundley to be your monkey sitter?
George thought the country house was a great little place. But he wondered, what would it be like to have a great big place? Like a country castle.
George, look what I found. My old photo album. Oh, that boy? That's me. Anyway, this got me thinking, I haven't been to the beach in a long time. You want to go? We can build sand castles. Well, I don't know if we could build a sand castle quite that nice, but that can't stop us from trying. George? I take it this means you'd like to go to the beach.
All the way there, George worked on castle plans. He wanted it to be perfect.
George, we're here. Ah, smell that salty air. George?
George hadn't planned on having so much room to build a castle. With this kind of space, he could really think big.
George, wait up! Let me know when you find a good idea for a castle.
He wouldn't build just any old ordinary little sand castle.
George said he built his sand castle around here somewhere. Wow! Could this be George's sand castle? Hello? Anyone home? George? It's me! George, it's the greatest sandcastle any monkey ever made, ever, anywhere!
Now he knew exactly what his castle should look like, and that he wanted it to be a surprise.
Oh, you want to build a castle like that one? Oh, you want to build a castle here, and me to build one down there? Then we surprise each other. That the idea? Okay, that sounds fun. You need a pail and shovel if you're going to build a sandcastle.
George thought he had to build the whole thing with his hands. This would be easier than he thought.
I can give you a few tips. Oh, okay. Well, I'll be behind the next dune so you can't see what I'm building.
George's castle was going to be a big surprise. Very big. First, he marked exactly where the walls would go. Then, he decided where he'd put the door. You should always know your exits in case of fire. Now came the easy part. Building it. Summer afternoon. The perfect time for a game of Find the Pigeon.
Okay, George, playtime's over. Time to clean your room. You can play with Compass after you clean your room. Bath time, George. I don't think you'll fit in the bird bath, George. You're definitely a tub monkey. Okay, time to brush your teeth and hit the sack, George.
Even though being a monkey was the greatest thing ever, pigeons didn't have to do what anybody told them.
George, time to clean your room, take a bath, wash your ears, brush your teeth, go to bed, wake up, make yourself breakfast. George!
So the next morning, George made up his mind to live like a pigeon. It turned out that birds had special pecking equipment. Keeping up with pigeons was hard work if you didn't come with wings. Plus, pigeons didn't have to wait for the don't walk light. George had lost his flock. To be a pigeon, you had to fly. Being a cat looked like a lot less work than being a pigeon. Now, this was the life. And no one made Gnocchi clean her room. Plus, cats took a bath wherever they wanted. Whenever they wanted. A cat bath was okay. If you didn't mind a hairy mouth and a spitty face. Maybe being a cat wasn't for George either. Here were lots of animals who didn't have to clean their rooms or brush their teeth. Surely George could find one he could be. Like a chameleon. They could change color effortlessly. Monkeys couldn't. Fish never had to stop playing to take a bath. But George wasn't good enough at holding his breath to be a fish for very long. A sunny day and a garden project meant one thing to Curious George.
That ought to soften it up a bit. Have at it, George. Make the hole good and deep, George. We don't want the roots to dry out.
George was an old dirt-digging pro. But this time, he saw something he'd never noticed before. There were things living in this dirt.
Whoa, where are you going with those worms? George, we've been through this before, remember? The turtle?
George remembered the turtle all right. It happened the first time he went swimming in Lake Wanasink Lake with Bill.
Here you go, George! Can you see it? Stick your head under and look around.
George had never put his whole head in a real lake before. George went in the lake, and the lake went in George.
George, you okay? When you're underwater, you gotta hold your breath, like this. See? Now you try it. Good job. Did you see it? You city kids. You gotta open your eyes if you want to see anything. Here, use my mask. It keeps the water out of your eyes so it's easier to see down there. Boy, are you in for a surprise. It's like a zoo down there.
Bill was right. There were so many different living things, it was like a zoo. Except wet.
What'd I tell you? Great, huh? They live down there just like we live up here. Some animals breathe in water like we breathe on land. Oh, I gotta do my paper route. Keep looking, George. If you need anything, ask Mr. Quint.
Huh?
Turtles lived on land, just like people and monkeys. But did they know to hold their breath? George didn't, and he was pretty sure he was smarter than a turtle. George tried to teach the turtle what he'd learned, then realized it was silly. Turtles don't have thumbs. So he told it to stay out of the water for its own good. George was so busy keeping the turtle safe, he had no time to search. Why did it keep trying to go in? Suddenly, it was clear. That turtle needed a bath.
George had toys for summer and toys for snow, but there were no toys for just plain cold. There weren't even birds to watch. But even the dullest monkey day could be saved by a visit with bunnies. The hutch was empty. There must have been a big bunny breakout.
What's wrong, George? Oh, are you looking for the bunnies? Ah, don't worry. I brought them in out of the cold. Phew. I'm glad you're here. We have to go to my grandmother's. Can you do me a favor while I'm gone?
George knew Bill was going to ask him to take care of the bunnies. It's something he'd dreamed about. George would pick only videos that bunnies liked, and games they could win, and show them his best bunny picture books.
I'm taking the bunnies to stay at my grandmother's house for the rest of the winter. Well, it's too cold out, and my folks won't let me keep them in the house. Grandma has a warm place they can spend the entire winter. So, could you do me a favor and put out some nuts and seeds for that jumpy squirrel every day? I don't want him to go hungry if the ground gets too cold and hard and he can't find food. See you later, George.
George remembered how it was not too long ago. Why did all fun things have to be taken away just because of some old season? He wasn't going to let winter ruin his winter. This little monkey was going to prove that winter couldn't stop him from doing whatever he wanted. Really cold water can change a monkey's plans just like that.
George, I'm back. I bought some of that really good hot cocoa. what are you doing? Soaking your feet in warm water because you got a chill? Well, when it's too cold to play outside, it's hot cocoa to the rescue.
The next day felt like the coldest day of the year.
Don't forget your scarf.
But George was not about to let it stop him from having fun the way he wanted to. Time for fun. George had won. He was having fun like winter had never come. It was a special day for George. A visit to the museum. But first, a stop at Piscatty's for a sweet Sunday treat.
George, they're not going anywhere.
Cannoli, a brown, crunchy shell with a delicious filling.
See? 2, just for us. Hey, Gnocchi. You have your own house now?
Someone's looking for cannoli. The last 2 got taken.
I'm sorry. I don't make any new cannoli today. I'm too upset.
What's going on?
Mio caro Gnocchi. She has been sneaking into the main room and scratching up at the seats. It's a disaster. You see? Look what she has done. Can you believe a little gatto, a sweet little kitty, could do such damage? I must ban Gnocchi from the restaurant.
Oh, well, we saw the house you built her. It's very nice.
Grazie. I plan to add a second story, eh? Oh, that is Gnocchi. She wants to come in. Oh, I feel terrible.
She only wants to come in because you say she cannot. Oh, typical cat. This kitchen is in torment. I suspect there will be no cannoli until this problem is solved. Eh? Back outside.
Oh, don't worry, George. I'm sure they'll solve the problem.
At the museum, George was too distracted to concentrate.
Professor Wiseman.
Hey, guys. Welcome to my new exhibit. It's called How Great Scientists Got Their Great Ideas. These are portraits of some great scientists. Isaac Newton, Benjamin Franklin, Marie Curie?
And Albert Einstein.
Once you think like a scientist, George, you can solve almost any problem.
George had a problem. He wanted cannoli.
You know, scientists think about problems and get ideas to solve them. They observe, then collect information. And if that information doesn't help solve their problem, they observe more and get a different idea. Oh dear, excuse me. Young man, get down from there.
George wondered what great scientists would do if they were monkeys who had no cannoli because Gnocchi had scratched the booths.
I say, do we know for certain that she did it like the chef believes?
You must think about what you observed.
George did see Gnocchi scratch the door, but could she have scratched the booth too?
What you observed does not support the chef's idea about Gnocchi making the scratches.
If George could prove Gnocchi was innocent, Chef Peschetti would be happy, and George would have cannoli.
Oh, I love cannoli!
George had to observe more. The man with the yellow hat and George visited Professor Wiseman.
Hi, guys. This is the final draft of my new book. Would you proofread it and check to make sure everything's spelled right?
Sure, no problem. What's this one about?
Numbers. It's called Is 7 Necessary?
Now there's something I never even thought about. That's why you're the genius.
Take care of it. That's my good copy.
I'll take care of it like it was my own monkey.
You've been playing for 2 days non-stop. When's it my turn?
You want me to give up going for the record just because my little sister wants her turn?
Yes.
Hi there, Betsy, Steve, Sharky.
Hi. What's that?
Oh, this is Professor Wiseman's new book about number sequences and logic.
Ha, Betsy's too young to understand those words.
I'm not.
Then what do they mean?
Well, I'll know after I read the book. Whoa! Sharky wants to keep walking. See ya!
Oh, everything looks so good.
Best crop all year. Don't miss out.
Yeah, slow down, George. Let's put them in a bag. Hey, George, hold on. Wait for me.
He can't wait to get home and eat that great fruit. Smart monkey. Fast, too. You better hurry.
Slow down. I'll bruise my melon. Now I'm gonna sit back and read Professor Wiseman's book. Wait a minute, where's the book? Well, where could it be? I had it in my hand the whole time.
Oh!
You know, you're right, George. I put it down to bag fruit. Let's go. Oh. Are you sure I put it down here? Excuse me, did you see a package about this big on the ground?
No, sorry.
Oh, if I'd have lost this package, Professor Wiseman would be so disappointed.
I didn't even know I had it. Sharp-eyed monkey.
George was glad to help, especially when he got a plum reward. The man went home, but George chose to stay out in case he could do more good and get more rewards. That friendly woman forgot a package. Here was his chance to earn rewards. George sure picked the right person to help. She left another package behind. Hundley didn't know what George was doing, but if he was leaving, whatever it was wouldn't be happening here this time. George was starting to think how lucky she was to have someone with the brain of a monkey to help. 'Cause boy, was she forgetful. Bringing home a new rug is always a one-man, one-monkey job. So George was happy to have his friend, the man with the yellow hat, around to help.
I'll take the front, George, and you make sure the back doesn't hit anything or drag on the ground. Hold on, we all clear back there? Okay, I'm putting it down. Whew, thanks, George. Boy, I am so happy I got this rug.
George liked the way the big tube looked in the room. Looked good flat, too.
Professor Wiseman was right. It's a perfect rug. Oh, I've got to take a picture to show her. Oh, wouldn't you know? I forgot to buy batteries. Okay, I'll be right back. Be a good little monkey. What a great rug.
Hauling a rug always makes a monkey thirsty for grape juice. A lot of grape juice. The rug made for good toe squishing. So it would probably be fun to jump on. This wasn't good. George had to get that juice off the rug. Now what? Soap. Soap cleans stuff. So more soap cleans stuff more. Bubble bath would make it smell good. That was definitely too much soap. Okay, perfect. But there was something missing. Water!
you today? Well, I'd like to buy this. It'll go perfectly with my great new rug. Wait, these legs. Yeah, I'm afraid they'd snag my great new rug.
Oh, I could fix that. Swap those legs out for ones that are less snaggy. Just take a few minutes if you don't mind waiting.
I can't wait to get a picture of that footstool on my new rug. Oh, did I mention I just got a great new rug?
George had to get all those suds out of the house so he could see if the rug was clean. George was happy he spotted the glass of juice. That could have caused a real mess. Grape juice must help you think, because George suddenly remembered when the Rinkins' basement flooded. To George, it was a perfect morning, eating and reading and having nothing better to do. But there was one thing he was supposed to do.
George, didn't you promise to clean up this room yesterday? You can't leave toys lying around. Someone could get hurt. Whew. Lucky for me, this wall was here. Now, please, clean up, George. When I come home from work, we'll spend the evening in our nice, clean living room, okay?
Rolling on the car looked fun, except for the slamming into the wall part. If one car was fun, imagine what you could do with two. George had to show his great new car shoes to someone. George couldn't wait to see the look on Hundley's face. That wasn't the look he expected. Hundley didn't want monkey handprints all over the clean doors. George didn't know how to turn around and go back.
I don't know. We have too many roller skates. Now, what can we do to make people more interested in skates?
Well, how about having a roller skating monkey give demonstrations?
And just where are we going to find a roller skating monkey? The skates are our gift to you. You just skate in front of the store whenever you can.
You'd better give him another pair, hon. He's got 4 feet.
I thought he had 4 hands, but fine. 2 pairs it is. Okay, let's see what you can do.
Maybe he should practice outside.
Yeah, gotcha.
Now you practice, little mister, then come back.
Okay. You ever think we'll see him again?
If you can't trust a monkey, who can you trust?
George liked his new skates. But what were these black things for? George thought that even Hundley would have to admire his skates, especially since now he knew how to stop.
Huh? Let me help you with those. Hundley, you're in charge.
A monkey on wheels looked wrong, but a proud, sleek dachshund on nice wheels. George knew exactly what Hundley wanted to do. Being a monkey in the big city can be an exciting experience. But it isn't perfect.
Oh. Oh. Wow, we could really use some fresh country air, huh?
The man with the yellow hat knows when the time's right to get his monkey out of the city.
Take a deep breath and fill your lungs with good, clean country air. It's good to be back, isn't it? You can let the clean air out, George. There's plenty here. Well, George, looks like Bill built a bunny hutch in his yard. Want to go see the bunnies?
There you go. Hey there! Got George with you?
How'd you know it was us?
Wild guess. Hey, I just got bunnies. Want to see?
George had never seen a bunny up close before.
You like bunnies, George?
Do they have names?
Sure. There's Fuzzy, Whitey, Brownie, Spotty, Black Ears, Cottontail, and Herbert Nenninger. And that's their mom. Want to pet one? Which one? Brownie? Whitey? Fuzzy. Fuzzy's cool. There's some things you need to know about bunnies before you pet one. Oh no! It's time to deliver my papers. Sorry. Come back tomorrow and you can pet them all.
Well, you're just gonna have to wait till tomorrow, George.
Ooh, George could barely stand it. Who can wait a whole day to pet bunnies?
You going out? Be a good little monkey.
George thought he could keep the bunnies company while Bill was away. They were so still, so quiet, so fuzzy. Bunnies, bunnies. Bill wouldn't mind if he petted one bunny, just once, if he was very, very careful. The bunnies were so still and quiet and fast. They were almost too fast to see. Definitely too fast to pet. And absolutely too fast to do as they were told. Their mom knew enough to stay in the hutch, but George wasn't taking any more chances. George decided he'd better figure out how many bunnies got loose by counting their bowls. 7. That meant he still had to catch 7. At least they couldn't get out of the yard. Hundley was proud to be a dog who couldn't be distracted. His mind was always on his job. Whether his friend the doorman knew it or not.
Oh, what is it, boy? Hungry again? Elevator's here.
Good morning.
It's a beautiful day. Enjoy it.
Good morning to you too, Hundley.
I know exactly what you're thinking.
Hundley was thinking that with George out there, the city might not survive. Or worse, become completely disorganized.
Who knows what his hungry boy wants? Can I read your mind, huh?
The smartest wiener dogs are always the most misunderstood. George wanted to take the man with the yellow hat to see where he'd done his job. In Chef Biscetti's kitchen.
Oh, Giorgio was a big help to me. He was especially good at cleaning up a mess.
Well, he's had a whole lot of practice.
Oh, I'm afraid I have no work for you today. Oh, you know what? My friend, Mr. Glass, needs help across the town, and you would be perfect for the job.
Oh, George, I don't have time to take you across town. Maybe another day.
Well, I can take him there if it's okay with you.
Oh, great. All right. Do you promise to be a good little monkey?
The job is at the building my friend owns, the Glass Palace.
Now, like I told you, Chef, I need a window washer who can work way up high without getting dizzy. That's 6 ways.
That's a lot of ways. But, Mr. Glass, Giorgio's a great climber. He's a monkey.
Congratulations. I need every window clean by 2:15. Can you do it? Well, here's everything you need. And a cool cap. Now, window washing is serious work. You take your work seriously. I like that in a monkey. Never mind what people inside are doing. Don't be curious or you'll get into trouble.
George promised to be good. But little monkeys sometimes forget. It was hard not to look inside, but George concentrated on his work.
hamster wheel. Oh, Tammy, I never would have found you in there. Thank you, window monkey!
After a week in the crowded city, what's more relaxing than driving out to the country for the day? Okay, sometimes the drive is slow. But it's a good time to think about relaxing stuff, like feeding ducks.
Oh, that was the worst traffic ever. But the day's not over yet. Let's feed the ducks. Hi, Mrs. Rankins. Something wrong?
The chicks wandered off. My chicken is very upset. If I don't find them before dark...
Yeah, not much time left to feed ducks either. I'll help you search. You can feed them without me, okay, George? But stay by the duck pen. I don't want you to get lost like the chicks.
Feeding ducks is like a relaxing brain massage. Jumpy Squirrel was a good jumper. And an even better food finder. This was great. George had never had ducks swim all around him before. If ducks swam all around, it meant he was floating down river with ducks. It was almost like being a duck.
Let's see if the chicks are along the fence. Hey, maybe they squeezed out here.
Then they could be anywhere.
Maybe they'll figure out how to find their way home again.
At that very moment, the chicks were trying to find their way home. But they were bad at it. Really bad. And speaking of lost, George was too busy being a duck to notice he was floating away from home. Fast. Jumpy tried to warn George because he didn't want his friend to get lost and take all that food with him. Soon, they were in a place they'd never seen before, which made George curious. Jumpy thought they should jump onto that small boat on the right. Or was it on the left? And it wasn't small. It wasn't even in the river.
But Jumpy missed home.
Watching for the man with the yellow hat to come home was easy,
for a sharp-eyed monkey like George. Because nobody else was that yellow. Well, almost no one. Seeing the man was great. But seeing him with a present was even better.
Well, hello. How was your morning? Were you a good little monkey? That's my monkey. Yeah, hold on, George. That present's not for you. It's for Professor Wiseman's birthday. You can see what's inside when she opens it. Tonight at dinner.
Dinner was years away. Maybe just one peek now.
If you really want to unwrap something, come in the kitchen. Here, you can pretend the orange peel is gift wrap. You'll be helping me in unwrapping too.
Orange skin didn't feel like gift wrap. But there was something good inside. Maybe that thick skin was there to hold back squirts. Now, the onion had skin that felt like gift wrap. But it didn't smell like any present. And no wonder they keep cheese wrapped up. These coverings were all different, but they hid the same thing. Something smelly. But that couldn't be the same reason the present was wrapped, could it?
George, could you please peel me one apple?
This was much better. The apple smelled good.
George, after you've done one apple, leave the bowl of unpeeled fruit out, okay? Those are Professor Wiseman's favorites that I bought especially for her birthday. George, could you pick up my pants for me? They're being altered at the department store. Don't worry, we won't open it without you.
Phew.
Have a seat. I'll be back in one moment with the pants.
The man with the yellow hat was right. This errand had completely taken George's mind off the fancy, beautiful wrapped present. Nothing to eat, nothing to smell, nothing. All George uncovered was a mystery. Why just wrap empty boxes? George was helping get ready for breakfast while the man with the yellow hat got an early jump on some important work.
This country air is just what I needed. Yeah, by tonight, my speech for the tribute to Professor Wiseman will be perfect. Her great vision. Oh, Great insight. Exhibit, right? Algae. Woolly mammoth. Her love of the woolly mammoth. I don't... Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I'll stop for breakfast. Well, fruit and eggs are good. Whoa! These cupboards are too small for us. Maybe we should buy less food.
The thought of having less food made George more hungry.
Well, we still need breakfast. Hey, I'll run to the market. Maybe you can finish my speech for me while I'm gone.
Hey, George. I'm helping Jumpy out with extra nuts. He's storing food. Squirrels hide food in the ground. Then when they need it, they dig it up and have plenty to eat.
George never knew the ground was such a good place to store food. George and the man with the yellow hat needed a good place to store food. George could hardly wait to chew the rewards of squirrel-style storage.
George, these donuts are delicious.
George, this fish is phenomenal.
All right, now for breakfast, then back to work on my speech. Where's our food? George, I think there's a food thief on the loose. Why would someone steal paprika?
George wanted to explain that he had it all taken care of.
Do we have gophers? Gophers stole our food? My paprika! Why would someone bury paprika?
The apartment building where George lived was a very orderly place. And that's how Hundley liked it.
They're here to clean your carpets.
People came. And people went. The elevator arrived. And people came down the stairs. Everything in Hundley's lobby was orderly and neat. well, almost everything.
We can't go back into the apartment until the carpet is dry, George. So you stay here in the lobby while I run my errands, all right? Okay. Oh, and in case you get hungry, I won't be long.
Hundley didn't think George should be eating a sloppy apple in the lobby. George decided it would probably be better to eat his apples someplace else. Hundley had never been through this door before. But he was pretty sure it was against the rules to be out here. Hundley didn't think George would ever get in that way. So he'd find a better way.
All right, move it along.
At least there was one thing Hundley knew for certain. Home was this way. Or maybe that way. Hundley was getting worried. He could just imagine the terrible things that sloppy monkey was doing to his lobby. When Hundley found his building, it was even worse than he imagined. But then Hundley saw that it wasn't his street at all. But that meant he had no idea where he was. George had been drawing all morning. But when he drew too long, he got a cramp in his foot.
That's funny. A banana driving a car. Oh, it's me. Well, George, I am honored to be in such a great work of art. Hey, and you know where great works of art belong? On the refrigerator. What we need to hold that up is a magnet. Well, let me see. I remember having one somewhere. Oh. Well, this is the only one I got. You're right. It really doesn't do it justice. Okay, we have a mission. Go buy great magnets so you can hang that. George, careful, don't swing from the refrigerator. Yeah, okay. 2 missions. Magnets, refrigerator door handle. Hi, Professor Wiseman.
Hi, guys. Wow, you're in the wrong place. That belongs in an art museum.
We're here to buy cool magnets to stick George's picture to the refrigerator.
Say, while you're here, do you want to see our new magnetorium?
Yeah. Oh, were you talking to George?
George was in a hurry to get home and hang up his drawing. But he was curious.
Welcome to the magnetorium.
I think magnetism is my favorite invisible force.
George knew he could spend all day here. But they were on a mission.
Hmm? Oh, right. We'll come back another day and play with all this stuff.
Before you go, try to touch this magnet against the back of the cars. Now try to touch it to the front. Everything isn't magnetic, just certain metals.
Oh, George, check this out. This isn't a magnet, see? But anything attracted to a magnet can be turned into a magnet by rubbing the magnet on it like this, in the same direction. It's all so amazing.
Oh, I almost forgot this.
What amazing thing does that do?
This? It's the pizza pan you lent me. I'm returning it. Thanks.
George was still in a hurry to buy some small magnets and get home. The day started with a wham, wham, wham. Lots of people heard it. But only one was so curious, he had to go see what it was.
Wow, pretty impressive construction site, huh, George? That's what it'll look like when they're all done. My hat! Stop, my hat! Anybody?
These metal boxes looked important. Metal on the outside? Tasty sandwich inside. With all this great equipment to see, George didn't want to waste time on food. Machinery's more fun when it's nice and loud.
see, there it goes again. Why is my building groaning and quaking?
I think the ground under the foundation is shifting, but I can't figure out where or why.
I want this place to be safe. We'll have to shut the site down until we find the problem.
George? George! Get down! That's not a playground!
Hey, buddy! This your monkey?
And is this your cat?
No! But I know her. Oh, not good, cat. Well, looks like lunch is on me.
The next morning, the man with the yellow hat was doing a little constructing of his own.
Good morning, George. What'll it be for breakfast, waffles or pancakes? Waffles and pancakes it is. I'm sorry, George, but there are no blueberries. We'll just find something else fun to put on top. Or you could go down to the store and buy blueberries. Okay, George, this is a 10. So be very careful.
George suddenly realized something was missing. No wham, wham, wham. Maybe they were done. The building was built. The blueberries would have to wait. The building wasn't done, but no one was working today. Maybe this was a perfect time to look around without distracting anybody. How would he pay for the blueberries? George was definitely going to give Compass blueberries for his help. It was a perfect summer day. The kind of day that just makes you want to kick something over and over. Which is just what George was doing.
Hey, you're improving, George. You just need to keep practicing. Oh, sure. The way to get better at anything is with lots of practice. Oh, hey, you better get going. Your dog's sitting Charky today, right?
If only there was a way to dog sit and practice kicking.
Hi, George. Thanks for doing this. I'll only be at the hairdresser's for 1 hour. I'd take Charky with me, but some people are allergic to dogs. You're welcome to sit Charky in my apartment. Or you could stay outside. Charky likes the park. All right. Have fun. Oh, Betsy and Steve say once or twice Charky has slipped away. So please keep an eye on her.
If Charky could get off her leash this easily, George would never get a chance to practice kicking. Unless he did it right here. It wasn't the park, but it'd do. And best of all, it had its own soccer goal. Some dogs don't know the difference between play and practice. Chasing Charky did have its rewards. Charky wasn't going to squeeze under there again. One of George's favorite things about being in the country was running his own railroad.
Hello? Oh, hi, Bill.
The Kite Flyers convention just ended. I'm going to be coming home on the number 7 train.
Okay. What time will your train arrive at the station?
The number 7 arrives home at exactly 3 o'clock.
All right, I'll be there. Bye-bye. George, you wouldn't want to bother coming to the train station to pick Bill up, would you? It's too early to go now. His train won't arrive for hours. Oh, I'll show you how it works. This is the train Bill will be on. This is you and me. Even if we're at the train station, we have to wait until 3 o'clock for Bill's train to get from there to here. Okay. We can go to the station early and you'll see how it really works.
This was exciting. George had never been to the train station before.
Well, hey there, young fellas.
Taking a trip, are you? I recommend traveling by boat.
Oh, we're not traveling. George wants to see how trains run.
Well, would you like to see it from inside the station's very nerve center?
Are we allowed up there?
Well, of course. My brother's the station master. I'm bringing his lunch. Hey, Flint.
Hey, Clint.
Meet my mates, George and...
Why, you're the man with the yellow hat. I see you in town from up here 'cause you stick out like a big yellow thing sticking out.
Yeah. Well, this particular little monkey wants to see how real trains run.
Yeah. Well, I'm the station master. From here, I watch every train on the line. It's important for me to track every train to keep them on schedule. Well, now, see that? The number 1 train's supposed to get here first. Number 2, second. 3/3. Simple. Exactly. I have to get that number 1 ahead of the number 2. Number 2, I'm switching you to the right-of-way so number 1 can pass.
Okay, Station Master.
So I've got to switch the tracks to move it ahead.
George saw exactly how Station Master Flint did his job.
Time for the number 1 to come into the station. See now? Follow me. And there's the number 1 right on time. Now you know enough to run the railroad yourself. Lunch break.
No thanks.
Great Northern Railroad, are you trying to cheat me, Clint?
Oh, trim your sails there, Flint. What's your beef?
Yours is big. Mine's all small on the ends like something with small ends.
Well, I cut 'em in half, and a half is a half. I'll make a new one and show you're as wrong as pants on a trout. You be judge, so it's fair.
Shouldn't someone be running the railroad?
Oh, it's okay. I always stretch my legs at lunch. Anything unusual happens, this warning bell rings. George can stay. He can't harm anything.
Remember, be a good little monkey.
It was a perfect day to walk down N Avenue and wonder, if building numbers get higher and higher, do they ever stop? And that's exactly what George was doing. Until he got curious about a sound.
Hi, George. Want to shoot baskets?
23!
When's it gonna be my turn, Steve?
When I miss, if I miss. Now, where was I? Oh yeah, 23. I'm going for a new record. 24 baskets in a row.
Ooh.
Oh! Now it's your turn, Betsy.
Here, you take a turn, George. Huh? Whoa, maybe you can beat Steve's record.
That's one. You need 23 more to beat me.
George was sure he could get 24, 34, maybe 104.
How about miniature golf? You've never played? It's great. There's a castle and a windmill.
I'll show you how to play. I'm good at this. To figure your score, add up how many times you hit the ball before it goes in the hole.
George had one goal, to do better at golf than he had at basketball. By the end of the first hole, George knew he was great at this game.
A little softer.
On hole number 1, I got a 5, Betsy got 8, and George 27.
George hadn't come close to Steve's 23 baskets, but he already had the highest golf score.
On this hole, Betsy got 4 and I got 3. If you get it in now, you'll have 9.
9? George was sure he could get that score up higher, but it took effort to miss from so close.
That's 10. Keep trying. 11, 12, 13, 14. Hit the windmill again. That's 20.
Getting a high score at golf was easy. George was born to golf. At the end of the game, Steve totaled up the scores.
I had 35. That's my new record for the best score yet. Betsy's adds up to 58. And George, 257.
To Hundley, nothing beat being a wiener dog on a sunny day. It was so much more dignified than being a sweaty, tired-looking man.
Back from the marathon already? And you won a trophy? 17th place? Congratulations!
Steady now. Push that button. Let's put it there, next to my cow pasture sprint trophy. Trophies make it hard to forget things you've done because you have to keep cleaning them. Yeah, I got that for climbing and mapping what they now call Yellow Hat Mountain. You'll win trophies someday. A trophy is a reward for doing something well. So maybe best at being a good little monkey.
George figured there wasn't much chance of that, but maybe for something else, someday.
Oh, hi, Giorgio. Oh, say, you know, I've got no help today. Could you, All done! Thank you so much. Grazie. My new dessert, the ice cream gnocchi, for you, Giorgio. Consider it the Helpful Monkey Award. My thank you for a job well done.
This plate of ice cream was George's first trophy.
A trophy is a reward for doing something well.
are.
Who would have done this? It's just mean to melt a guy's helpful monkey award.
Giorgio, what did you do? Leave your ice cream gnocchi in the sun? Well, maybe I can still use it for something. This time, don't leave it in the sun where it'll melt.
George now knew he had to keep his trophy out of the sun.
Hi, George.
Can we have a little tiny bit of ice cream?
George was happy just about anywhere. City or country. But Jumpy Squirrel jumped from tree to tree because that's about the only place he felt comfortable.
Hey, is that Jumpy Squirrel?
Woo!
I don't know what that guy's doing. I didn't get a good look at it.
A monkey like Curious George can't stand a mystery.
You want to go back and see what's up, don't you? Okay, but remember, be a good little monkey.
Hey, George! Boy, for a city kid, he's one fast runner.
He saw a workman back on the road and has to see what he's doing.
Didn't you hear? They're putting up a traffic light.
A traffic light? Out in the country? Well, I guess you can't stop progress.
Jumpy Squirrel couldn't stop because he was busy gathering up nuts to store for winter. And he'd found a lot of them across the road.
Oh, those branches block the light. See ya.
Jumpy was sure this was how he crossed the road. And what was that thing? What happened here? There was no way to get back safely. George noticed that people seemed to like red a lot because they all stopped to look at it. People who liked red didn't like green. When the light turned green, everybody drove away. And when it came to yellow, so far, people only liked it enough to slow down and look a little bit. The lights were always changing. People didn't get much time to enjoy their favorite colors. So George thought of a way to make it more fair for everyone. George made a special green side, because someone who liked green was bound to show up. A yellow side for those who might prefer yellow. And a red side, which George predicted would be the most popular. George always liked when friends dropped by. When it was Compass the pigeon, he really dropped by. George really liked birds, and Compass really liked whatever George was. George thought he'd make a pretty good pigeon.
Are you all right, George? Oh, stay right there. I know just what we need.
For once, George had no trouble staying where he was told until the man with the yellow hat returned. With butter.
Well, this butter is for your foot, George, not for bread. Okay, try now. Well, I guess I'll have to call the fire department. They have the right tools to handle anything.
Rescue requested. Someone is stuck in monkey bars on his balcony.
Monkey bars on the balcony?
Why don't we ever get normal calls?
It's not monkey bars on the balcony. It's a monkey stuck in the bars on the balcony. Hiya, George.
It's still not normal.
Oh, we may have to saw through it.
She means the chair. Let's use the spreaders. We'll spread the bars apart, and then you can just pull your foot out, George.
Oh, there you go.
All in a day's work for the fire department.
This fire department, anyway. Nice. Say, George, would you like to visit the firehouse and give them this picture as a thank you?
Sharky!
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 Sharky slip out of her collar?
Yeah, this is the 10th time she's gotten away this month.
She's like an escape artist, but with fur and a tail.
Well, we'll keep our eyes peeled.
Hi. Oh, this'll look great on our wall.
Glad you like it. Now, come on, George, we've got to go.
Oh, George can stay. He'll be our mascot.
Okay, have fun, George. And be a good little monkey mascot.
George couldn't wait to check out the Firehouse tools and equipment.
George? George? Hey, have you guys seen George?
There's no one up here but us.
There was a whole other room at the top of that pole.
Rescue requested. A dog is up a tree.
Oh, that George. Found him.
Hey, George. I found George! I wonder how a dog got up a tree.
I wonder why we never get any normal calls.
Lots of puddles, a rubber ball, and one happy monkey. The perfect recipe for fun on a rainy day in the country. George had lost his ball, but he had found something he'd never noticed before. A cave. George didn't know much about caves, but he knew one thing about being in the dark. You can't really see anything. How would he find the ball now?
I've got that. Oh, hey, George. You want to help me bake my famous banana walnut cake? Oh.
George invited Jumpy Squirrel to help him find the ball in the cave. That squirrel didn't know what he was missing by being so jumpy. The cave was like a new playground for George. With just a flashlight, he could bring shadows to life. And turn himself into a fearless giant. Suddenly, the cave seemed very different. For the very first time, George was truly afraid of the dark. In the safety of his room, George was happy. He knew he never had to go back to that spooky cave again.
Good night, George. George, is that you? Huh. I guess I forgot to turn off the lights. Did I forget to turn off all of these lights too? Huh.
George always liked the sights and sounds of the countryside. The tastes of the countryside were pretty good too, especially the taste of the Rinkin's homemade honey.
You ready to sample this year's first batch of honey, George?
I packed some homemade bread in here to go with your honey. Enjoy!
If there was anything George liked more than sweet honey, it was eating it with freshly baked bread. But this bee wouldn't let him enjoy his snack. Now, where did it hurry off to? What could be more interesting than bread and honey? George wondered how a flower could move when there was no wind. Touching all the flowers was definitely not as interesting as a bread and honey sandwich. Who'd be mean enough to take a monkey's snack? A bear. George had never seen a real live bear wandering around here before. The bee came back. It must have wanted to be friends.
Well, that bee thought you were trying to hurt it, George. Bees sting to protect themselves. Now, just keep ice on that finger for a while and you'll be fine. You want cereal again? You just had it for breakfast. No, George, a bee stung you. A bear didn't bite you. Besides, no one's seen a bear in these woods in over 20 years.
But George was positive he'd seen a real bear.
Hey there, George!
Bill always seemed to know everything. Maybe he'd know about the bear.
Pretty good imitation, George. Did you know no one's seen a bear around here in over 30 years?
George left those bees alone. Why couldn't they leave him alone?
That's just a honeybee, George. Hey, they're going toward my yard. Wow, when did they build that? I gotta get those bees to leave. I don't want them to hurt my bunnies. George? George?
It's a beautiful day, George. Why aren't you outside? Come on, help me water the snapdragons. They're in bloom, see? Afraid of getting stung again, huh? I have to go to the Rankin's place. Maybe you should come along. I bet they can help you.